Hello, welcome to Always Yarn First, the podcast that delves into knitting, crochet, spinning, and all things yarn. I'm Lindsay, and I'm coming to you from Little Rock, Arkansas. To stay updated on my latest yarn adventures, you can follow me on Instagram and Ravelry as Always Yarn First. Welcome. Before we get into it, I'm going to get right into another winner. Last episode, I had announced a winner from the Ravelry Knit All the Small Things, and I have not heard from them. So if you're just watching this and you think you might have skipped that one, go back, see if you're a winner, contact me. And then last week, I was giving away a skein that Missy from Rich Mountain Fiber Co. had generously donated. And I pulled a random comment from last episode, and that winner was, was Linda C6922. So Linda and Cynthiagwilson from Ravelry. If you're watching this, please email me at AlwaysYarnFirst@gmail.com, and I will get your prizes out to you. All right, so we are in episode 59. Welcome, everybody. Today is March 22nd. It's Friday, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and let's get into the podcast. I'm kind of all over the place, so I'll explain a little bit. If you are new here, welcome. I hope you find something you enjoy and like, and stick around for a while. Every episode or podcast, I name a song title because before my love of yarn was my love of music. I love almost all genres of music, so I always find an appropriate song title that kind of encapsulates my mood, my making mood, just kind of whatever, just kind of where I'm at. So this episode's title is Still Life. It is a song by RM of BTS. If you've been around a while, you know I love BTS, which is a K-pop group. It features Anderson .Paak on there. And I have a Spotify playlist if you would like to follow along to see every podcast name where the songs came from, the names of the episodes came from, I should say. Then follow me. I have the link below to follow my Spotify playlist. All right, so this week, I have one finished object, one new cast on, some whips, a little bit of acquisition, and that's it. I will say that I have one thing at the end I think I am going to show. I'm going to go pull out. I have a very old whip that I would love your advice on. It's not going to turn out to be what I initially intended, so I have an idea of what I want to make it, so I'm going to go in to talk about that too. So I will have timestamps below to each section if you want to skip around, and let's get into it. I am not wearing any knitwear. I am wearing pretty much workout clothes because, first of all, I have had, I think, up to like 5 days of migraines within the last 2 weeks. It's been a rough couple of weeks. That's kind of the name of the still life is I'm just trying to hold on. So today I'm feeling, I'm going to use the word stable. Not good. I'm almost afraid to use the word good, but I've been to the chiro. I gotten a massage. Yesterday was a really rough day. I had another migraine. I'm like, I'm never going to get over this. Today, I feel good enough. We're having company for dinner. I had pre-made yesterday before my migraine started lasagnas, thankfully. So those are ready to pop in the oven later. And today, I was able to work out a very low impact. I wanted to move my body because I know I need it, but I didn't want to aggravate anything. My migraines always stem from my neck. So like kind of like my ear line down to my shoulders is where all my pain stems from. So I feel okay right now. So, which is good. I will take it. But yeah, I am in casual clothes because I am just, besides podcasting and exercising, having people over for dinner, I'm trying to just listen to my body today and relax and do whatever I need to do to stay okay. So, not wearing anything, but I do have a finished object. So, is my pair of socks. Got them on the blockers. This is yarn from Desert Vista Dyeworks. I am doing her year-long Desert Vista Dyeworks 10th annual sock something, where you make a pair of socks from her yarn from start to finish, one pair a month. So these are my March ones, and this is in her colorway Legion, and I love this. This is like doing like a micro striping, and it is so cool. I love these socks so much. This is just basic toe up socks. To join in her knit along, it has to be at least a cuff, a length at the top of your foot to 3 inches. So I do just a little over the minimum to make sure I cut it, but I don't like really tall socks. So that is my only finished object. All right, so I have one new cast on. This might be a very short podcast because it's kind of cut and dry, everything I've been working on. All right, so this is in my black Purl magic bag. Love this bag. This was one I had talked about in the last podcast. This was on my Make 9 stash board, with meaning that I already had the yarn and the pattern for it, and I had a board, the things I wanted to make from my stash, ready to go. So I cast this on last time, and I made a good deal of progress. First, I'll show the yarn. This is Arkansas Yarn Co. Yummy Sparkle Base. I don't know if the sparkle is coming through on the camera here, but Lori's sparkle's so good. And this is Barbie World. So this was, I think she released this last year for the Yarn Crawl, if I'm not mistaken. And I had gotten one skein of this, and this is a 1 skein shawl. So I am making the Shimmering Purl. So it's a little, you can see the one lace section and my little very hungry caterpillar. Obviously, this is a new cast on, so the caterpillars just was for my notes, kind of to see where I was, but this whole thing is new since the last podcast. But you can see I did a lace section, and then I did a garter section, and literally my next row is I'm back on the second round of the lace section. And I love this. I think I picked the perfect yarn for this pattern. This is going to be a lovely... I love wearing shawls in the summer in Arkansas because they're perfect where they're lightweight, and a lot of ones I was like a big purse, and so I can throw it, squish it in my purse. In Arkansas, it is hot in the summer, so hot. So you're like dressed in shorts and a tank top, but you go inside anywhere. If you go to church, if you go to the grocery store, it's freezing. Like they overcompensate for it being so hot. So that's when I get my shawl out and I'm like, oh, okay. Like it's hard to grocery shop when you're freezing. So I love wearing shawls in the summer. I find that that's really when I do wear my shawls. Unless we're talking like a big DK thick that I wear like a scarf. So yeah, this is my new cast on. Love it. All right. So I have one finished object, one new cast on, and now we're just going to go into the whips that you have seen. So naturally, because I finished my DVD socks for March, I picked up my other sock on my needles, which is in this happy little yarn bag Amy made. And these are my Skittles socks. And I'm calling them that because the yarn is Skittles. Obviously, this one is Skittles. This is Legacy Fiber Arts, and their steel toes base. The colorway is Skittles. And I bought this in they call it a micro set, which is a 50-gram skinny yarn with a 20-gram mini. So I have the mini in here. And I decided, I just said that I don't like a long leg, which is true. But when I only have a 50 skein, I went ahead and separated them immediately into two 25 grams skeins. I have the other one sitting on my cart here. And so I did toe up. And I'm going to use probably most of this. I will keep some of it because I would love it for some of it to go to my Wave to the Fans blanket. That'd be really pretty because there's so many colors in here. But right now, I am in the middle of the shadow wrap heel. So I have it on 9-inch circulars. It's kind of like a mess right now. This is the first time I've actually done the shadow wrap on a 9-inch circular. So you can see here's my progress keeper of where I was last time. A little leaf. It's kind of hard to see here. But I am in the middle of doing the first half of the shadow wrap. If you look closely, you can see my twin stitches there. So yeah, just working on this because I always have to be working on a sock at some point. So love these. I'm on obviously the first sock since I have the whole second part of the cake separate. Okay, next is the Muppet shawl. So this is in my Muppet bag that my friend Christy gifted me, which I love. I don't know who made it. There was a tag on the outside, a zipper, but I took that off, and it's otherwise there's no imprint inside or out of who makes this. So this is a mystery knit along that's been going on for the month of March. Every Friday a new clue comes out. So today clue 4 came out. There's 5 clues in all. And I'm on clue 1. So this isn't really a spoiler unless you are actually further behind than me, like you haven't started it yet. I am just taking my time with this. This is kind of, for me, like a Stephen West shawl. Like you're doing very different stitches. Nothing hard that you can't do. It's just I need to concentrate and I don't want to pressure myself. I signed up to do this not because it was a mystery knit along, but because I love the Muppets. And I wanted to try this yarn, which I'm using Nora Sonata. Here's my main color, which is vanilla. And then I'm using 3 colors. It calls for 6 colors, but small enough amounts where I just bought 3 colors and I'm going to double them. So here is what I have so far. So yes, this morning I just did this pink part. I'm trying to think. All the stitches, she named them as like Muppet characters. Let me see. Those ones, what are they called? The Yip Yips. So you remember the Yip Yips? Yip, 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 yip. All right, so these pink stitches are called the Yip Yips or the Yippies stitches. It was actually, I think it looks really cool. I wish it would be look the same throughout my stitches, but I think then I understood kind of how I needed to be picking those stitches up so that they laid nice. Here's the back of it, just because it's interesting to me. So I just had finished the Yip Yip section and like 2 rows back on the main color for that. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm just going to tinker along. I'm going to take my time. This is kind of like my like a slow knit project for me. I'm just enjoying the stitches. I'm enjoying the learning and just going with the flow. So yeah. I also love these stitches too. The white. Yeah. So yeah, I'm enjoying the yarn and I'm enjoying I don't have all my colors here. So obviously the pink is the only one that's in my bag right now. Then I have the red as color 1. This was color 2. And then I have like an orangish that's color 3. And I think then I'll like mirror them because this is a rectangular shawl. She did let you know that. So yeah. I'm just say about this yarn. This is the first time I'm using the Nora Sonata. It is very thick feeling. It's enjoyable to work with. It's different because it's very, you should be able to see that it's very like thick and thin. But it kind of makes me appreciate it because spinning, even though I haven't done it in so long, my spinning has bits of thick and thin. And then I always think my yarn that I make from my spinning isn't good enough to knit, but it's still just as enjoyable. So I think it looks great. So that is the Muppet Shawl by Mary Annarella, or Lyrical Knits. All right. The next one is my Rocket Tee. And this is in one of my woolly bean bags. And I've made some decent progress on this. I'm almost done with my first skein of yarn. So I have separated for sleeves now. Let's see here. So there's my stitch marker where I was. Gotten a few inches. So I think last time I was maybe just in the round, but I hadn't separated for sleeves yet. I have now separated for sleeves, so you can see I have that on waist yarn. And this pattern, usually, the pattern first of all is striped, which I've mentioned before, is fingering striped with mohair or lace weight. I'm just doing the fingering of one color. This is Chelsea Luxe in the colorway Spring Chicken. And I lost my thought. There was something else I was going to say about this. Oh, right. The special stitching here. So obviously these are the increases down. But usually after you split for sleeves, you are still doing that patterning down. I did do that with my first one, but I have again decided not to do that with this. So I am just knitting in the round, which is great. This is a great yarn. This is the first time I used Chelsea Luxe. I'm really enjoying it. I love, love, love the colorway. Yeah, so just a V-neck, barely any sleeves. Just will be a great spring, summer tee. Love it. Yeah, so this is a very mindless knit, which is funny because my last project to show is also in the body of a tee, just knitting in the round, which a few episodes ago I was complaining because every garment I was working on was knitting flat. So I was just going back and forth. I don't mind knitting flat. I don't mind purling the way some do. But I'm like, okay, it'd be nice if I had one garment that I'm knitting in the round. So now I have two, which I'm just knitting. So a lot of times actually it's been great lately because with the migraines, my migraines aren't typical to regular migraines. A lot of people that have migraines like behind their eyes or something, they have to be in complete darkness, no sound. Mine's just the extreme pain, but it's like the stem of my neck, the back of my head and my neck. So I'm able to still do some things. I just have to have like support for my neck. It's almost like I need my head carried. Like I need to have full support for my head. Like it feels like 1,000,000 pounds, the pressure. So anyway, I'm still able to knit, but like about like this type of knitting is it. So I need to make sure my head is completely back on a comfortable chair and I can just knit in the round. So that's why I think these have been good and gotten a lot of work done on them. So one more to show, and it is a whip, but I feel like the last podcast I said I was going to bring it back out, but I don't know if I was actively yet. I might have. I don't remember. So this last whip is in one of my Fringe Supply Co bags from Lavallee and Annarella. Of course, they're no longer in business. Fringe bags. And this is the Give Me the Tea. So this one, let me look. When did I start this? I started July of last year. This is out of the book 52 Weeks of Easy Knits. It's actually pattern 1 in that book. So very easy to find if you have that book. And this is just a simple classic tee. And I'm doing it in a very non-bold color just to kind of go with everything, which is great. But I think I just got bored with it. So here it is. This is in the colorway. Let's see. This is Plymouth Yarn Reserve Sport Solid in the colorway Navy. So it's a sport weight. I had 3 in my stash that I had gotten from Lori when she had clearanced these yarns out a long time ago. So yeah, let's see. So there's my marker. Again, kind of like the other one, a few inches progress. I am just knitting. Now this is one, I'll put the picture up of the pattern picture. This is one where it says to, after you split for sleeves, which I had already done before I picked this up this last time, and it says to knit to 6 inches. And I'm like, ooh, that is really cropped. Like, I don't know about that. So I'm continuing knitting. I don't know how far I plan to knit. I'm just kind of going to what I feel comfortable. I have a tape measure here. And then I will put it on a cable so I can try it on and see. Because I still have, so here's where I'm at in this skein. And I have another full one. And this is another one where there's barely anything to do with the sleeves and the neckline as is. So I have plenty of yarn. And I don't think this, they make this yarn anymore. So like after this project, I don't know what I'm going to do with this yarn. It's not going to go in another like full-size project. It'll just be like in my bin of extras. So I want to make sure I get it to the length that's comfortable. So let me measure here where I'm at to the sleeves. Let's see. Right now I am at about 8.5 inches. So my idea was I was going to go till 9 and then I'm going to put it on little cables and try it on to see where it actually sits. Maybe even give it a little bit of a steam block just to see how it kind of stretches out. I love the stitch definition in here though. It's very lovely. This yarn is great to work with. I really do need to look to see if they still have it in stock or if Lori just isn't carrying it anymore, because it is a lovely yarn. And I think this color of navy, I mean, it really will go with everything. So highly recommend this. I'm just tinkering along at it. All right, so the only other thing I have worked on that I don't have at the table, because I don't think I want to show it every time, I mean, is my Wave to the Fans blanket, which is the Scrappy Blanket I'm working on. I don't know. I think of like the Crazy Sock Lady, and she always shows her Scrappy Blankets. I don't know. Are you guys interested in seeing that every time, even if I make a little progress? Let me just go get it. Okay. I figured this is going to be a short podcast anyway, so let's just do it. All right, but let me know if you guys really want to see the Scrappy Blanket every time. So here's my bag. It is in a NicNacKnits bag. And I do have some progress. There hasn't been as much family TV time. So you can see here's my progress keeper. And I put in a few rows. But I have changed yarns again, so it does look a little different. You can see that blips of pink and yellow on the yarn I changed to. So here it is. This is a pattern Lori wrote up, so it's by Arkansas Yarn Co. Wave to the Fans. Oh, I love that bright teal in it. It stands out so nice in the camera. So yeah, it's just all over. And for those new viewers, you can see that I failed to add that purl row in toward the bottom. For 2 sections, I'm just going to, when I finish it out, not do the purl row for the last 2 sections so that it's mirrored. But I have been doing them since then. I love this pattern. You can see I have a couple balls in there. I pretty much go till it runs out, and then I pick up another one. It is yarn held double, fingering yarn held double. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about in whips, and you will only know this project if you've been with me maybe from the beginning. So, and this is crochet. So quite a long time ago. Let me go into my project page here to see if I can find out when I started this. I started this August 10th, 2021. So, quite a long time ago. I had the idea of making, I might even have the pattern due on my cart. This is a free pattern by Nitty Natty. It's called the Scrappy Granny for the little square. I kept this on my cart because I was making this blanket. I was at the time getting Row 1 Minis subscription, which is 10 gram minis per month from different indie dyers. And I loved it because I had a project for it. And so this is what I was doing. I have a couple here. Don't know who the indie dyers are, so I don't know what these yarns are. But I was making the 10 Scrappy Grannies, and then I would take undyed yarn and make 2 of those to kind of round it out. I was planning on making a blanket the size of my bed, which is a king size bed. So my idea was originally to have these long strips, and then eventually, obviously, I put these all together and then stack them on top of the other months of long strips. So I basically have 3 strips, 3 months worth of these. That's the second one, and this is the third one. I attached them all together. You can see all my ends here, and I just didn't attach them with each other. Then last year with the Sock Yarn Society subscription, I made a little throw just to go on the end of my bed, and I really like how that looks. So I am not going to make this blanket, but I'm not going to take all this out with the squares. And originally I kind of thought, okay, they kind of look like just some little boho scarves as is. Like I'd have 3 of them right here that I could give to people. Obviously, clean these up with the ends really good. Maybe do a border around the whole thing and just do it as is. Or I could even do like a thicker one, kind of like a shawl style, like attach, you know, these together as I thought, and just do like a thicker scarf or shawl type thing, because the wingspan is pretty wide. It is longer than my wingspan right now. So you could easily attach the 3 of them and have like a boho kind of shawl, a rectangle shawl. So I would love your opinion on what would you make with these. If I want to keep them as the squares as is, would you just kind of tidy them up right now and just gift them as little scarves? Would you connect them? Oh, Lori had the idea too to connect them, like I just talked about, the 3 panels together, but then close them up on the end. So you have kind of like it's a sleeve shawl kind of thing, where you close up and finish out the ends. And so you have sleeves, but it just kind of hangs open a little bit here. I think for that, I would have to like maybe even take off the white part. Like I said, it's way longer than my wingspan, so I don't know. I would have to do some more modifying to do that. But I don't want to get rid of them. I do love the squares, but I'm tired of seeing them. They were taking up the whole project. These plus I still have I had canceled my row 1 minis because I wasn't working on them actively, and I still had like 3 or 4 months worth of row 1 minis for this project. Plus I had ordered from Knit Picks like a bundle of the undyed because it's cheaper that way. And so I have them like in full, like not even skeined up tidy, but just like this long undyed. So this was like taking up a whole cubby of project with the white yarn and all my row 1 minis and the project bag and this. And I'm like, obviously it has been a long time since I worked on it. And I'm like, that space needs to go to something else. So I need to finish this up, put the row 1 minis in my Wave to the Fans blanket, basically, and just move on. So I'm ready to finish this, whatever that looks like. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but give me your suggestions. What would you do with them, if anything? So let me know below. So yeah. All right. That is all my whips I worked on, and not so much. I do not have spinning again, sadly, this week. But I do have just a couple of acquisitions. So very brief acquisitions. Let's start with the one I had ordered quite a while ago and just got last week. I had made an order from Simply Serving with some Progress Keepers. So I'll show those. I got this set came together of these little dinosaurs. Cute. A cute little milk bone doggy biscuit, because I have 2 dogs. And then, again, my love of music, had to get a record. And then I also got a little storage thing. It didn't come with any, but it's just a little screw top. So you can put your needle in there. So yeah, that is from Simply Serving. She has a bunch of cute stuff, cute things now with updates. But I was trying to wait till I got to this order. I'm like, okay, I don't want to have another order out there. So, just yesterday, I got my Gritty Knits monthly all year Advent Club. So this is a club she started last year, and you get 2 minis a month, 2 20-gram minis, and she's like doing her own version of a fade. I am making the Annarella shawl, which I think I showed last podcast, because I'm trying to keep up to date per month as I work on it, which I am. So I will now need to add these in before I get next month's. So yeah, you can join that club at any time. So this is colors 15 and 16. She doesn't name them, but she has the numbers, so you always know where you're at, especially if you want to wait till the end of the year. And it's just kind of more of an affordable way. If you don't want to pay for an Advent all the time, you could do these 2 a month and still work on an Advent project when everyone else is. So, all right. And then my last thing I got, I think maybe the day before I had went to Arkansas Yarn Co. last time, Lori was still on vacation, and Anna and Jessa had been dyeing up their yarn, which they call the darker side of pretty. And they had posted, well, they had put it in our group chat, this. And I'm like, okay, they had made these before, and I never grabbed them before, and I regretted it. And so I literally was coming and the next day, and I'm like, please save me one of those. I'm coming. I brought them Irish soda bread because they love the Irish soda bread from Fresh Market. So, and I said, okay, if you bring me bread, we'll hold one back. So I nabbed one of these. This is the darker side of pretty. And this is on their Yummy Plush Base Mini Skein 85, Superwash Merino 15, Nylon 87 yards per 20 grams. It is called the Dark Side of the Rainbow. There wasn't very many of these. I don't know if there's any left, but you can go to the website. They have also dyed up, I think, 4 or 5 other new colors of theirs. So yeah, I got this. And again, if you've been around, you know that I've been obsessed with the movie Wonka. And I'm like, oh, this has to be Wonka something. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Wonka mitts, a design for Wonka mitts. So we'll see. I have a couple ideas. That Muppet Show shawl, all the different stitches I've been working on that. I'm like, ooh, this would look cute on mitts. So I love this so much. And that's it. That's all. I've been pretty good. Like I said, I am going to Treasure Goddess yarn party the beginning of April with my friend Christy. And so I know there'll be some purchases there. Sarah, the sexy knitter, will be there too with her things. So I've been really trying to be good. I did order a skein of yarn from Kimber. She had a confetti colorway, and I just, man, any kind of bright pink speckles. That's why Lori gets me all the time, because those stinking bright pink speckles get me every time. Like it doesn't even matter if I have it in my stash. It looks like it. It doesn't matter. I have to have it. So, but that's on a pre-order, so I don't know when that'll ship out. But I ordered one skein because, yeah, I broke my rule about full skeins this month on that one. But that's all I've gotten. So pretty good. I don't have any podcast highlights this week, and I don't know. I've been looking through my Make 9 boards, my whip board, ones that were on my needles before this year, and then my stash board are ones that I have all the things for that I want to start. I'm definitely itching to cast another something on. I would love to maybe try to get that Give Me the Tea done though, because like I said, I was already at the point where it wanted me to like finish the body. So I feel like that's within realm of finishing. So I really want to do that. All right, y'all. That is it for this time. This is a shorter one, which is nice because I feel like the last one was pretty long. But thank you so much for being here. Remember, if you heard your name and won a prize, please email me. at AlwaysYarnFirst@gmail.com. Let me know below what you would do with this. I don't know what to do with it. And I thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. And I will see you again in 2 weeks.